All right, I'd like to call this meeting of the planning board Village of Cold Spring to order. Anyone have any items they'd like to add or modify to the agenda?
Okay.
Okay, let's go on to minutes really quick. Be on to the main business. We'll do October. Abigail, do we have October 10th?
Yeah.
Oh, she has some.
Oh. And do we have the 24th as well?
No, October 24th, just October 10th and November.
Okay, all right. Well, let's do the 10th now.
But this year that died in the.
Actually, I don't know what happened with that, with the ZBA. Did it not, it didn't go forward, it didn't pass to the ZBA?
I think, yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Do 14th then, do we want to do with that? Actually, wouldn't anyone like to make a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt the meeting minutes from October 10th, 2024.
And I'll second that.
In favor?
I have something on the 14th down the
Yeah.
bottom. I think that Zimmerman, the homeowner, confirmed that he has no interest in a short-term
Yes,
rental.
that is true.
Yeah, it's a generational.
Yeah.
Dwelling.
It's
Yeah, I sort
also,
of remember they asked that, and he said, "Oh, I don't."
well, and
doing this
not only that,
short-term
it's not legally allowed for ADUs.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah, I just think it was just a missing.
the only thing that worries me with this one is it's like 2 hours. And not a lot of details here. So I don't, honestly, I can't remember all the things that we might have talked about, but
I remember him, it was one of those ones, he went over in a lot of detail of the.
do you think it was just presentation?
I think a lot of it was, if I
Okay.
remember, I mean, it was one of them, but he took
Yeah.
through a full presentation.
Almost like an hour.
Yeah.
Close to an hour.
But I don't know.
I don't know
was
if it's this one.
Yeah.
Well, I think we had a couple of them that were of that shape. Yeah, I mean, I think with that correction, this looks broadly correct. With that modification.
Right.
Uh,
I'll make a I'll make a motion to adopt the meeting minutes November 14th, 2024, with the addition of Beth Zimmerman, the homeowner of 47 Parrot Street, confirmed that he has no interest in short-term.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That was the chance to. All right, we can move on to our main business of the evening, which is 1 Depot Square. We have representatives from that here. Who would like to kind of be the speaker to the board for the at least initial part?
Hello.
Okay, great. So just to kind of get you a sense of what are we doing? Why are we here? So this is kind of it's a workshop session. It allows us to understand just like the lay of the land, the facts on the ground, what's being proposed, and allows us to kind of identify potentially new information that would be pertinent for us to understand the project and help kind of provide feedback and things like that. So that those workshop sessions can go over the course of a couple of sessions,
Sure.
depending on how much back and forth we do for discovery. But the goal is to get to something where we feel like, okay, we understand the project, and we feel like we have enough that we can present to the public. Okay, here's what's going on. We have the public hearing. Again, that may go one or more sessions, depending on what the feedback is and how we cover. And then we hopefully can move to vote and explore from there. Cool. So I'll hand it over to you to lead us in.
I mean, the project here is basically just adding what is essentially an open air pavilion to the 1 Depot Square.
So being the architect.
Yes, from Hudson Design. So we're proposing to add this pavilion in what is now just an outdoor seating area where there's a gazebo, just adjusting that area to fit what is needed for some additional outdoor dining. And we were referred for the parking requirements. We understand that we are 2 spaces under the 26 space requirement according to the square footage of the existing restaurant and the proposed seating in the new outdoor dining pavilion. So we have marked the spots, which are all within the 1 Depot Square property, which encompasses the entire road there. So we're at 24 without any adjustment, and I guess that's where we're starting from now. What could be, done about that, or if a waiver could be granted for the 2 spots, or what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, so a couple things on that. So one is, as we'll talk through, just kind of the parking requirements are dependent on the use. So we'll just kind of better understand what the use is going to be. That will help inform where we read the parking requirements from in the board, or in the zoning code. And then if we are still where we are right now, you can request a referral to the village board for a parking waiver.
Okay.
Which will pass along, and they'll decide what to do about that. Alternatively, you can pursue a variance with the zoning board. I know you're having a hearing on the 22nd. Yeah. Okay. If you decide to go the DBA route, you should let them know as soon as possible, because they'll want to have that be explicit in the agenda for that meeting.
Sure. What would be the difference between going for the variance versus the village board?
Different criteria are kind of being applied there. The zoning board is using the zoning board criteria of like, they're trying to figure out whether or not it's reasonable to provide a variance in your particular situation. There's I think a set of 5 criteria that they judge that against. The village board will be taking less structured but more holistic approach about what, kind of how they want to navigate that. And people do both. So it's really up to you.
Okay.
Cool.
How many of those parking spots are actually owned by the Depot restaurant?
All of them. The property line extends actually the whole. Except that
yeah,
street,
so
no.
Pretty quick from across the street. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so-
goes like right up to the sidewalk on the other side.
That part of the village is an interesting one because it's a private street with a public right of way. So it's connected, but it is entirely owned privately. So that's why you end up with the spaces on the other side.
Okay.
I think, the village lawyer is interested in doing just some additional reading about exactly
Yeah,
how we count on, off street for a private street. Just to make sure that we're counting in the right way, but, that's something we'll do in discovery for next time. Okay, so I have a couple of questions. Do we have any, previously approved site plans for this property? That we know of?
Not since the current owner has owned the property, I don't believe, no.
Okay, but maybe for previous owners, there might be some on file with the village.
The village has one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we have the existing property survey that was done a number of years ago
Okay,
on the property, and that's just, yeah, for the restaurant
okay.
itself.
John, is that something that the clerk would kind of do research on our behalf?
yeah, so that's something Abigail should.
Okay.
For.
Could you take a note to see if there are any previously filed site plans with this property? Okay. Thank you. And do we have a copy of the deed?
Yes, is that
In the-
in the?
in the package already?
If not, I
It
could
could
send
be.
it in. It definitely went to the zoning board, so make sure it gets to you as well.
Okay. So in terms of, so you said open air, is it, open air? Like with no roof or no walls?
Well, it has a roof and it
Okay.
has, walls that can receive glass panels, so it's.
Okay, I
it's
gotcha.
gonna basically be an unconditioned
I see.
space for now.
Right.
For what we're planning. And then in terms of use, which I know you asked about, we were going off of the restaurant bar section of the code, 6 spots per 1,000 square feet, I think.
Right, so that, in terms of like the intent, like uses can range, right? Like especially for something like this, which has, at least on the appearance, it seems like it could be used as an event space. Is there plans on using it as an event space at all? Greg, you want to speak to that?
That is the plan, yes.
Okay, great. So, do you have a sense of like what kind of events you might be interested in hosting there?
I mean, rehearsal dinners are the first things that come up.
What was that, sorry?
Rehearsal dinners.
Yeah.
We have turned down those a lot because we don't have the space and capacity to handle that. But any kind of event, because there's really no big spot in town to do something like that.
Yeah, 100%. I looked around for a space for hosting a baptism party for my 16-month-old.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything.
Baby showers,
Yeah.
wedding showers, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah. So, okay, so, what about music intended or?
No,
No.
that's not part of the, I mean, we might have an acoustic something, but no music was ever part of the plan.
Okay.
Will there be many trees removed? Many trees removed?
One tree for sure, but I don't think any others would be, but it's all on my property also. Sure.
Yeah, most of the questions we're asking are really just trying to understand. So like as an example, sometimes when trees are removed, we have a lot of stormwater challenges in the village.
Yes.
So if there's a tree that's removed from a property, we may have concerns about stormwater drainage because trees tend to soak up a lot of water. So there might be some questions in the approach about like what we do with stormwater mitigation, if we need to do an analysis there or not. So they're just kind of questions around that.
Okay.
Right now, there stands a gazebo in that spot.
Yeah.
So it's about, the new pavilion will be about 2/3 that size.
Choose.
An additional two.
Okay.
That is 1/3 of the total.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that is, right now is already covered with
Okay.
about 30%.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it says here, there's an existing pond to be filled in. That's just, it's not being fed by anything, is it? It's just a standalone pond, right?
It's just a bit.
it's not receiving water from anywhere else, right? It's
I
just,
don't know what pond.
it just says a pond here. I said,
Oh, there was a man-made, there was a pond that Tom Ralston put in, yeah.
it's just a man-made thing, right? It's not
That-
anything with coming
But
from.
that is actually not where on the site at all.
Okay.
That pond is on MTA property, actually.
Oh, okay. It just says existing pond to be filled in. I just
Well, I
wanted.
think there's also confusion because the rock, the rock is there.
Right, yeah, no, I'm
Oh.
familiar with that. I do remember there being some little.
Right. I was been a little confused about the placement of the rock as well, but
Yeah.
that's where it is.
Okay.
It's hardly a pond.
Right, I'm just because it's on here, I just wanted to be sure that it wasn't like something that was being fixed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like it, so.
Yeah, and the only, I don't even, the only drainage problem we ever see on Depot Square is just coming down Railroad. That you come into that drain, that's where a lot of water funnels through, but
Yeah.
nothing, we never have a problem right there, especially because you have the big drainage at the end of Main Street there.
Right, okay.
Do you have an elevation of the new pavilion?
Oh, not in these drawings, but we do have a smaller copy. This is an older iteration. It's gonna be a little bit simpler than this and in this kind of style.
16.
Do we have a digital copy of the elevation?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
It's not glassed in, it's open.
Well, that,
It's like that there's a glass panels that can be installed too.
Glass panels that can be installed.
Yeah.
Cool. And is it metal or is it wood?
It's metal.
And is this gonna be 4th season or is it gonna be 3 season?
More like 3 seasons.
Yeah. This is actually what the foundry used to do, the metal facades for buildings.
Oh, cool.
This is what the foundry used to produce after they produced the cannon for the Civil War. They transferred to peacetime. And we've lost all the examples in the village, so it'd be nice to have something back.
So doing like exterior panels to buildings in New York City and so forth?
Yeah, these are conservatories, a lot of greenhouses.
The metalwork will all be like an oil rub bronze. Should be fairly dark. I mean, not black, but it looks.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Fun.
Yeah, those look
Yeah.
pretty.
It's,
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
We're going for
yeah,
I'll historical board.
Have they given any feedback? Well, it wasn't a no, but Al had trouble with how good it looked. I see. Too nice for the village.
He seriously said that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we can't have nice things. Yeah, well, good luck working with them on the aesthetic part. I think it does.
We fixed it.
Okay, yeah, it does, I think it does look
We'll calm them down.
very, very, very nice. All right, so we've got to look at we're gonna go do our research about the parking. I know that it's kind of coming up against where the bike racks are currently, I guess, are the bike racks on your property, or are they adjacent to it?
They're off property.
Or is it kind of,
They're on the.
Yeah, it's right there, but like it's right between, it probably sits on both.
sure,
But yeah,
but I guess we have a 5-foot offset, so we don't expect to impact those, is that right?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Also, until I pulled all the weeds out of there, whatever, year and a half ago, no one could even really use them,
yeah.
so. Yeah. Oh, no.
there's one set of variance, it says, for the rear setback.
In addition to the, sorry, Bill, do you wanna- okay. Is there, in addition to the elevations, do you have any like landscaping, renderings for the surrounding area or plans?
Yeah.
We will.
You will, okay. So it would be great to have that. Also, are basically the only two entrances, these two that are noted in the front?
Yes.
One of the entrances.
There's two on the
Well, there's two.
There's two in the back too. Okay, so there's two in the front, two in the back,
Well, it's a double door on the front and double door on the side.
but there's double door on the side.
Mhm.
Where, how am I missing that?
I see, two double doors on the front.
That's happening
Two on the back.
because we're the redesign.
Uh-huh. Oh, I see. So there's gonna be an update that it has doors off the side. Okay, I got you. Okay, so, yeah, whenever you get those, just send them
I got
over.
them in the last.
So, okay.
I worked there on elevator, I can't get them.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, so, any details you have about the landscaping, even just like broadly, what you're going for, the kinds of,
Majority of the landscaping is really in that area, is cutting the majority of it, you know.
Sure.
Pushing that.
Pushing back out.
yeah,
And this will only really enhance that whole area of the property. It's not really used for anything other than that.
Yeah.
That almost falling down gazebo.
yeah, or the benches that are
And the
there.
backpack and the one-
Yeah.
I gotta pick up all the trash that all the people leave there.
Yeah. I've tried to pick up when I walk my dog over there.
Appreciate
Yeah.
That does
People just sit there and eat lunch and just leave it. I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'll get it. No big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
I'm wondering if there's any world
Yeah.
in which we can use any of this space in here as even theoretical parking, like staff parking or something, like
Oh.
parallel in or.
Oh, the whole staff parks in that parking lot. So if you wanna count that apart, but yeah, I didn't know that we could, but yeah.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
I know, I know it's area, so. They're in there.
Yeah, I mean, we.
parking for staff as part of our count.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
that,
have like 12 cars in there.
You're sailing.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing we're gonna have to just double check is that there's like certain minimum dimensions for parking spaces, just to figure out exactly how many.
I guess more than the two.
Yeah, I think
you
that,
want to be safe, go with the.
yeah, I think that's probably right.
Should be
Yeah,
good.
but yeah, very easily you get 5-6 cars in there.
Yeah,
Like I said, we jammed 12 in on Saturday.
Okay, so maybe on the next version, if you could just show those there. Yeah,
And then, if even just, lookbook, doesn't have to be like, don't get into too much trouble, but lookbook of like what the lighting will look like.
Mhm.
yeah, will it be lighting for it?
Like you have
Yeah.
area lighting, like up.
No, there will be no uplighting.
No?
No. Okay. We'll have a dark sky light design.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're concerned about the dark sky.
Mostly just like usability, like we've had people, open shops that open in the back of a dark alley with no lighting to get there, and that are open after dark. We're just like, okay, this seems like potentially a hazard. So it's really just kind of basic sanity checks about, okay, we do care about the dark sky stuff for sure. And that is something we'll check, but for the most part, anybody who involves an architect is already thinking about that kind of stuff, so.
And you're relocating the lamppost?
I think we'll be relocating anything that
Yeah.
interferes with.
Where's the lamppost?
The only other one, the flagpole got talked about in historic, but. Oh, are you talking about the sign?
Yeah, I think it's the sign that's up towards the corner.
Full spring sign.
It says existing lamppost to be relocated.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the flagpole. Yes, that is the.
Oh, I see, flagpole, okay. Yeah, what is the plan with that kind of plaque and monument thing?
Well, I thought we could probably just donate it back to the village, put it somewhere else, or move, I mean, certainly could be moved somewhere on the property, it could be seen from there as well, but
Yeah.
whatever the village wants to do with that is fine.
Okay. There is there's a spot at the foot of Main Street. That,
Yeah,
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 that might
right
be
by
a spot
the-
for it.
Yeah. At the very bottom. Yeah, that's not our choice, but it's good that you would be willing to let the village put it where.
what was that?
Let's see somebody with it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like sword in the stone, you can lift it, you become,
George Washington.
yeah. Exactly. Let's see, what else do I have? Is there any signage associated with it? Like you're gonna have like a Riverview, something or other, like kind of,
Yeah, I mean, the only, we have a sign now,
Yeah.
something like that would probably stay.
yeah, sorry.
That's all right. That's partly why I'm trying to do all this stuff,
Yeah.
because it's been a long time.
Yeah, yeah. And so you're adding the side doors, will that make it more, I guess that'll make it easier to serve from the restaurant, or is there?
It's only for, particularly used as an emergency.
Interest, yeah. The front.
Oh, I see.
The doors facing the patio will be for service.
I see, so we have the event space, do we expect like on, Friday afternoons in the summer that you're gonna serve meals in there to regular patrons, or
Probably not. no.
probably not, okay?
No.
So it'll be almost exclusively for
Yeah,
event
for those
use.
event space or spillover,
Okay.
busy weekends possibly.
Yep.
We don't have an event, but
Sure.
events.
Okay. And is I think I can answer from the elevations here, but it's basically, there's no height to it, like it's gonna be on slab, basically?
Yeah, that's flat.
Okay,
And right now, it runs right around 16 feet. This has somewhat of a dome to it, but there is a little piece of, I think it comes with it still. It's a decorative, like a comb, a cock's comb on top of it.
on the lighting, just to be clear, can we get just at least some annotations about where the lighting is to be?
And just on what you were saying on the lighting about easy, clear access to the building.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why we located it in this spot too is to orient it so that it lines up with the existing restaurant and it's clear to people from the sidewalk that,
Yeah.
They're associated and.
The entrance to the main entrance to it will be at the end closest to the restaurant now. That's how you'll enter and exit it.
The main entrance will be the
The end of the building.
like the
From the patio.
from the patio.
From the
Yes.
I got you.
So
Okay,
that's
okay.
Where the current welcoming station is there. But they'll remain the same, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, we want to set it up so you couldn't just walk in off the side after.
Yeah.
Purposely walk over there.
Right. You wanna crash somebody's rehearsal dinner? Yeah. Okay, so, sorry, please go ahead.
Capacity, how many people, I'm sure that's based on what the village engineer calculates, but what's the full capacity, what's allowable, we know?
Yeah, it's 1250 square feet. And what is that, 15 square feet a person?
Yeah.
So about a little under 100?
But they're.
At max.
table, chairs.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And in terms of like, you're saying that this is kind of like part of a broader investment in the depot and kind of thinking about its use in future. Do you have other related plans that you're moving forward that are related to this project?
Yes, we're planning to completely renovate the depot.
Oh, cool. And will that be will that also change the square footage of the depot, or just like primarily just make it, kind of redo the
Hopefully
inside.
just redo and the biggest thing is to tearing down the kitchen and rebuilding that.
Okay.
And then, yeah, fixing up, totally renovating the inside.
That's good.
When do you expect to do that?
Open sometime next year.
Okay, so it's part of a broader plan for that and I guess like that will basically just be making the existing use as a restaurant enhanced, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna keep you're gonna keep the big fireplace or no?
That's probably gonna have to go. Like, we're still gonna figure out a way to get a fireplace in there, but I'm sure if you've been in there, it gets tight. If you're trying to
Oh, yeah.
create a more space, it's like that thing takes up a lot of space.
And it generates
Generates so much heat.
Yes, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, but yeah, but we'll definitely have a fireplace one way or the other.
Okay. Cool. Does anyone else have any other questions? Jonathan, is there anything we have forgotten to cover?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Great. I mean, this seems really like a really cool project. And it seems like it'll be a functional addition to the village. So, I'm excited to get some of these details down and talk more about it, next time. So I think probably what the plan should be is if you can get us all these documents, I'm gonna say at least, let's say a week before our next meeting. We'll have a chance to review them in advance. We'll give comments, make sure there's nothing else that we need. If we feel like we got everything we need, we'll go ahead and schedule a public hearing at that point. So, any questions or concerns?
Can I just read back what we have? Landscaping plans, show the plans for circulation in the site. Count staff parking towards the total number of spaces.
And with kind of noting the spaces on, yeah.
Show site lighting for pathways. And then show egress and doors.
Did you get landscaping? Okay, sorry. My lack of sleep with a 16-month-old has Swiss cheese in my memory.
Would you want to see pictures of the lighting pictures?
I mean, we're never gonna say no to more detail,
We can
like,
show you the type.
yeah, sure, yeah, I think it'd be great. Yeah, double check. If you could, just have something that does note the trees that are gonna be removed, just so that we kind of know the scope of that.
So you're really asking for all of these documents by next week?
Yeah, is the meeting bi-monthly?
Yes, bi-monthly, it's second and fourth Thursday.
Okay.
So our next meeting is July the 10th?
That sounds right, if that's the
That's
second,
correct.
yeah. So, yeah,
Third.
So if we're asking for a week in advance?
yeah. Yeah,
July before 4th of July.
If you need more time, of course.
Yeah, we could do it the end.
yeah, the main reason is that sometimes, for reasons like what you just described, if people are only able to get us plans like right before, the board doesn't have a chance to actually like digest and react to them appropriately. So if it, I would prefer it be a week in advance. If it's like by the Monday before, that's okay. But anything closer than that, we just may not be able to put it on the agenda, that's all.
We should barely have it within, I can probably get it in 7 to 10 days.
And it sounds like you gotta go to the planning board, to the historic review board and do some other stuff there, so we might not be the biggest holdup that you guys have, as far as getting documents too.
I think it's a really exciting project and I really appreciate your, capacity to make this capital investment.
Well, that's what Greg's doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not sure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not sure. Because it's,
And make it tough.
I think it's really cool. I mean,
Yeah, but a lot of the, a lot of this stuff is challenging, because it's like, we're here to basically be the arbiter between the property rights of a property owner and what they're trying to do,
Mhm.
and what the village as a whole wants for itself.
Mhm.
And so it can be a hard thing, but I think at the end of the day, we all want something that gives everybody what they need from the process, right? Like,
Yeah.
and so that's our motivation here, is just to understand, and then if we have small notes about things that we think you might think about. I did have one other question, actually. I realized I've forgotten to ask. For do you imagine that the hours of operation for the event space are going to be the same as the depot, or will they likely be longer for?
it would probably be a little bit longer. I mean, right now, weekdays, we close at 8 o'clock, so
Okay.
it will be later than that.
Okay.
But no, I don't anticipate this being I certainly want nothing to do with a late night kind of deal. I don't want anything to do with that. I got little kids too, but not what I'm looking for.
Okay. So you think like 11?
11, I think it certainly is
Okay.
later that might go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we have.
You just have to drop in the village code on that.
Yeah, like for noise and
So
stuff.
the noise
Yeah.
and stuff, so,
Yeah.
it's just-
Great. Anyone else?
If you do have any influence over the historic district, you appreciate comment to Al.
Yeah.
We have no influence over anybody.
Well,
We had three.
we can all-
Voters that night, and there was no vote, but
Yeah.
the other two members were
Yeah.
favorable.
Yeah. How many members from the historic?
I think it's 5.
It's 5. So
Yeah, we're missing two.
Okay. Well,
And two of the three were.
that's one of the tricky things about quorum. Sometimes you want to wait until you have 4 people showing up, just so you have more diversity of opinion. But yeah, we're missing one of our members for this evening. So we also have a 5-member board. Yeah, I mean, I think if anyone feels so moved, we can always write an opinion and send it over to HDRB. So I think it's up to the board if anyone wants to do that.
I'm happy with that, if you want to do that.
I'm not gonna volunteer, but if anyone would like to write that up,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can write it up.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, well, I really appreciate you guys coming tonight and giving us the full info, and yeah, we'll wait for the updates, and oh yeah, and making sure you have generally the updated plans for whatever the most recent version is, including the elevations. But yeah, we'll see you hopefully on July 10th, you said? Okay. Okay, all right, great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right. Do we have anyone online?
Yeah, that's my hat.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what's funny is a lot of them watch it after the fact. I went to a party where a couple already knew me because they apparently watch all of the
Oh, no.
village board meetings, including ours. Yeah,
No.
and they had just suffered through the horrible recording of us when we were over at Butterfield Library. I could barely hear you remotely, and yeah. So we do have an audience, so thank you for tuning in, everybody. Increasing those YouTube views up to like 12. All right. I don't think we have any public here to give comments, so I think we can move on from that. And if anyone would like to make a motion to adjourn, we can go.
No.
You wanted to go over your,
Oh, sorry. I think I missed it. You should have reminded me to add, or should have added that to.
I thought it was old business.
It is old business, but it was not on the agenda that I sent around. So,
Well, we can wait until next.
no, it's fine. We're here. We can go ahead and do it. So,
I mean, unless, I mean, Yeah, we should go over, it, review it, but obviously Henry's not here, so.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
We might as well do it.
Would someone like to make a motion to add this to the agenda?
Since
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? Aye, all right, great. Now it's officially on the agenda. You said Jonathan provided some feedback on this.
I asked.
You asked.
Yeah, so I did mark it up a little bit, so,
Okay.
if we wanna go, I don't have that many comments, but if we wanna go line by line, that's fine.
Okay.
Um, so on the, let's see, is it the fourth line, where it starts, or sorry. Yeah, the fourth line.
Page two?
Yes. Submit the application with all required, and I just crossed out the word conditions. I don't know if that's the right
Okay.
term in this context.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we?
It's the third sentence on page two.
And then on the line below that, rather than representative should attend the next available planning board meeting, maybe just something to the effect of the next meeting, once you have received confirmation that you're on the agenda, or something to that effect. Just so people don't think they can show up at
Right,
the next.
right.
How would I say that?
A representative should attend, the next planning board meeting that they have been added to the agenda
Okay,
Yeah.
of. It's always great to end the sentence with a preposition.
Right, and then moving on to the line that starts after the hearing, I just added on to the end of that, once all conditions of approval have been met. It's probably a little bit, redundant, but just so people know, because I know that's sometimes an issue.
Yeah.
after the hearing, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's after, basically at the end of that
Yeah.
line,
Oh,
saying, will sign a resolution for approval, once all conditions of the resolution have been met. Abigail knows I'm a stickler for those conditions.
Exactly.
Since you're going through here, could I just make a comment on that item? I wouldn't just put again at the beginning. I would just say the planning board typically meets.
Okay.
Um,
mhm.
And then the last section, that starts completion of an application is also based upon obtaining all necessary approvals. I just crossed that out. Think it's a little bit ambiguous and might raise more questions than
Okay.
provide answers for applicants, because in some cases, they may not have to get any of these kind of approvals, especially if it's a change of use.
Okay. That was the sentence that we added from the last meeting, so I'm happy to
Okay, yeah.
toss it.
that doesn't have to go for the building inspector.
Not necessarily, no. Like with the accessory apartment, they did, because,
We wrote,
there were some issues there, but,
Yeah.
like for the usual change of use, they don't have to go before the building inspector for that kind of stuff.
yeah, theoretically, the building inspector has already kind of in evaluating for referral, I think is supposed to kind of like say, okay, your plan is street legal
Yeah, right.
kind of thing, right? And then we're kind of, hopefully we don't suggest any changes that make it illegal, but that's, if we do, it's Jonathan's fault.
And then, so that was all the changes I had, line about the EAF, yes, even though most of the time we don't need it, I think just as a matter of practice, it's good for all applicants to submit one. And I would add to that, to be completed using the DEC mapper tool.
Okay, wait a minute.
The DC mapper tool, allows you to just, pull up a map and click on the parcel, and then it automatically populates the EAF.
Well, that might be a helpful,
Yeah.
link.
I'm gonna say, yeah, maybe we wanna put that in the reference resources. This last one.
Yeah. Really, unless you're an engineer, it's pretty tough to know that you're accurately filling out an EAF.
Yeah, and so for that, you could even.
Mhm.
And again, thank you for doing this. This is very detailed. I think it's come a long way from where we started, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And it's gonna be extremely helpful to move.
I hope so, it helped.
It will have to be.
like a revolutionized the process to happen.
Well, as long as people read it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
If they wanna get their stuff done in a
Yeah.
timely fashion, we then,
I know.
as we could say,
I don't know, it's like.
you could have referred to this, to this.
It
before you
is,
came to the board.
100%, I just like, I'm thinking about all the applications we've had where,
It would have been helpful.
well,
Yeah.
that even with our hand holding and explicit
Oh,
requests,
right.
that we still had trouble getting the things we asked for.
Right.
but maybe you then bake it into the protocol for clerk.
Yeah.
As people are applying, then this automatically goes out like.
Yeah.
Like, please, you know, bold, like.
Refer.
I'm making
part of-
stuff up
yeah.
there, but in like, you know, bold letters. Please make sure you read this document and understand it, let us know if there are any questions, boom, and it goes out
Yeah.
and they can. I mean, if people didn't choose not to, then.
They can come back 3 or 4 times until, they
Right,
submit.
but that again, it's a waste of our time too, so it would really be helpful. That's what I like, is that I think that it'll streamline what we have to deal with.
right, it helps us as well.
Right.
Um. Yep, sorry, I was thinking about the depot square thing. Um. For the like changes to non-permeable surfaces, is that something like, is that? This is not non-trivial here, where we're going from permeable to non-permeable with the slab.
Yeah.
Is that, would we get the village engineer to do an analysis, or would we ask them to do an analysis and then send it to the village engineer to review?
I think I would send it to Will, the engineer, and say, hey, is this something you would even look into, or is it too
Okay.
small to even warrant engineering review?
Okay, so I can just do that, I can just send them an
Yeah.
email, okay, fine, I'll do that for this, that way we have.
Good point. He says it's gonna be a hard, it's about being a hard roof, that's the main purpose.
Yeah.
So then-
And a concrete
So
slab.
then how do
And a
you-
concrete slab,
then
yeah,
how do you, like, what do they do with a stormwater?
Mhm. 1,250 square feet is significant.
That's a good, that's.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
fine.
significant runoff from the roof, right? You gotta make sure it goes into the same.
alright, let's do.
Right onto the tracks.
Half on the tracks, half on the sidewalk.
Yeah, it seems like they get proper drainage as there is now, but as I know, when I pave my driveway, it does change things, so they might find that they really will have a different flow with the rainwater.
Yeah, well, and I wasn't kidding about how much water trees suck out of the ground.
Mhm,
It's non-trivial.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll follow up with Will on that. Anything else?
And
Yeah,
we make a motion that we, close the meeting for tonight, which is, I don't even know the date, the 26th of June. Adjourn the meeting for, tonight, which is June 26th, 2025.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
You stop recording?